Minnesota Key on the right and the mainland on your left. And it's just, the Minnesota Key is beautiful from the water, sort of unspoiled area. And then you're getting into wide Lemon Bay. I think that's my favorite. If I'm going to boat out of Venice, and if it's just an exploring thing, I'm typically going to go south. It's very easy to do, and you're in. You've got riprap on both sides of the Venice Canal for quite a while, and then all of a sudden the riprap disappears, and you almost get, when you look on both sides of the water then, and that's kind of in the South Venice beach, the South Venice ferry area. There's a little ferry down there that runs South Venicers to and from the beach down there, just south of Casperson. Suddenly you leave the riprap, and you can almost picture dinosaurs hanging over. I mean, it's just a neat, beautiful area down there. You know, that just in the South Venice area is really pretty. So I think South Venice to Lemon Bay is just a beautiful boating area. I think in Venice that would be my favorite place. And the Intracoastal Waterway runs basically from Brownsville, Texas, and all it is, the Intracoastal is naturally formed water that occurs between the Barrier Islands in the Gulf and the mainland, you know, in Florida. And it runs from Brownsville, Texas, all the way south. You know, it runs north for a while, then it runs south, all the way around Florida. There are a lot of open areas. North of Tampa, you don't have any Barrier Islands for about 3 or 4 hours. But then you start heading south, it runs all the way around Key West, and then it runs all the way up the East Coast, all the way to Maine. And so, you know, believe it or not, the East River around Manhattan is part of the Intracoastal Waterway. Chesapeake Bay is part of the Intracoastal Waterway, and it's just protected. It's always flat, the water's always nice, usually doesn't exceed, you know, 14 feet in depth. You know, there's places where it's been dredged by the Army Corps of Engineers. The markers are maintained by the Army Corps. Basically, you've got red markers that are on the mainland side of the water, and they stay that way, by the way. So when you're heading north on the Intracoastal in Florida, the red markers are on your right-hand side on the mainland side, and the green markers are on the Barrier Island or the Gulf side. When you make the turn down Key West and you head up north on the East Coast, the red markers stay on the mainland side, so you're on the left when you're heading north, and then the green markers are on the right-hand side. They're on the Atlantic Ocean side. So that's how it works. Part of this is the Venice Gondolier newspaper, and then that's the Venice Gondolier newspaper with the pictures, and that's Venice Elementary right there. And Venice High School is in the distance with the lighted football field.
I've got 3 girls in the Venice Elementary School.
Crazy, huh?
Only 3, huh?
Well, only 3 girls are in the Venice Elementary School. My oldest, my 12-year-old son, he's at the Venice Middle School. And Bob's family graduated from Venice High School. Yep. What do you have, 4 or 5?
I've got 5 kids, and we moved down here in 1997. And let's see, my daughter was the homecoming queen a couple years ago, Eileen Daly, and my son graduated from here. My other daughter, Liz Daly, graduated from, they all graduated from Venice High School, went to Venice, went to Laurel Nokomis Middle School back then. Let's see, who else? Those were the three of my 5 kids actually graduated in Venice, and had a wonderful time.
I mean, you really can't beat it. To be around the water all day, every day, you know, meet great people. I mean, boaters naturally are friendly, nice people to be around. I mean, they like to go out, have a relaxing time, enjoy themselves out on the water. So, I mean, if you know, if I get to spend my days taking people out for boat rides just like this, I guess I don't have a whole lot to complain about, do I?
It's one thing to, you know, to stand at the Venice jetties and look out at the Gulf, and you see that if you're lucky, you'll see manatee, you'll see dolphin, you know, you'll see boats in the distance, and that's a wonderful sight, a great feeling. But it's another thing, and few people have experienced this. It's another thing to hop in a boat and look at the Venice jetties from the boat. It is just an entirely different feeling. You know, you're right next to the dolphin. It's like you've hired them and they're jumping out, you know, clapping their hands in front of you. and looking back at everybody on the jetties, you know, and the people there are jealous because you're in the boat, you're right there in the water. They all want to be in the same boat. And I think the way they can all get in the boat is to join the Freedom Boat Club. It's an awesome thing. To really enjoy all that Venice has to offer, you know, I think that, you know, Venice Main Street and Venice's Main Street and all those things, I think that Freedom Boat Club just fits the niche perfectly for the image that Venice really portrays, which is this is paradise. I mean, this is paradise. If there is a heaven, Venice is as close to it that I can think of. And you know, so hey, I look forward to many years living here in Venice. It's a wonderful place. Yeah. I think every skateboarder in Venice would love to sneak up there and skateboard down it, but don't put that, please don't put that on television. My son is a very good skateboarder. I know he would love to do it.